Hey fam. Isaiah here. Yours truly Spoiler King. Today we are going to speak about latest movie, The Black Phone, starring Madeline McGraw, Ethan Hawke, and Mason Thames. Before you get into the movie, you guys know the drill. If you enjoy our vids, if you want to see more in future, leave a like and comments below. And also subscribing and hitting that bell is a very real way directly supporting the channel, and it's completely free. And finally, this video will contain movie spoilers. You have been warned. Okay, so let's get into it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the latest horror movie sensation, The Black Phone. Hold on tight, because this movie will take you on a thrilling adventure. Spoiler alert, there are twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end. The film opens with a scene at a baseball game where Gwen is seen cheering for her brother Finney, who is pitching to the batter. Bruce, a member of the opposing team, misses the ball twice but finally hits a home run on the third pitch, leading his team to victory. After the game, Bruce compliments Finney on his pitching skills. Later, while riding his bike, Bruce slows down when he spots a black van. At breakfast a few days later, Terrence, Finney's father, complains about Finney's loud slurping while eating. As Finney and Gwen head to school, they notice a flyer for Bruce, who has been missing for several days. They also witness a fight between Robin and the school bully, Moose, where Robin emerges as the victor. Although Gwen admires Robin for his strength, Finney feels uncomfortable discussing the previous bully, Vance, who was taken away by the grabber. During science class, Finney plays with his rocket ship pen and glances at his crush, Donna. After class, Finney is followed by bullies Buzz, Matt, and Maddie to the restroom, where Robin intervenes and warns them not to bother Finney again. Robin advises Finney to stand up for himself and offers to help him with math. Meanwhile, Gwen is summoned to the principal's office to talk to detectives Wright and Miller, who ask her about her dreams regarding Bruce's disappearance. She admits to dreaming about a man with black balloons taking Bruce, which Wright reveals as a crucial piece of evidence. Later, Gwen leaves Finney to stay at a friend's house, while Finney finds his father passed out and tidies up for him. Later, Gwen screams as her father whips her with a belt, blaming her for police questioning him about Bruce's disappearance. The news about Robin's disappearance spreads, and Gwen prays for a clue to find him. When her father switches on the hallway lights, Gwen quickly goes to her room. Days later, without Robin to protect him, Finney is beaten up by the bullies, but his sister comes to his defense and fights back. After Buzz and Matt beat up Finney's defeated opponent, they pair up with other students in science class, leaving Finney alone. However, Donna volunteers to be Finney's partner. Later, as Gwen teases him about Donna and leaves to spend the night at a friend's house, Finney walks on an empty path and comes across a man stumbling out of a black van, spilling his groceries. Finney offers to help, and the man introduces himself as a magician. Finney notices black balloons inside the van, but the man uses them to trap him. Finney fights back by stabbing him in the arm with his pen, but the man sprays something into Finney's mouth and drags him inside the van. When Finney regains consciousness, the man tosses him on a bare mattress in a nondescript room. The boy complains about his wounded arm but assures Finney that he won't hurt him anymore. Suddenly, a phone rings in the distance, and the man promises to explain everything when he returns. As soon as the man leaves and closes the door, Finney tries to open it, but it's locked. He then explores the room, finding another section with a toilet. Going back to the mattress, he notices a black phone on the wall, but it's disconnected. Soon, Terrence calls Gwen from her friend's house, asking where Finney is. Gwen rushes out, knowing that her brother was taken. The police are soon alerted to his disappearance, and Gwen prays for her brother's safe return. Finney wakes up to the phone ringing, but the man tells him that it doesn't work. He promises to take Finney home soon but has to deal with something. Finney promises not to tell the police anything if the man releases him. The man just laughs and says that it's not about the police. Finney then realizes that someone else is in the house and threatens to scream, but the man tells him that he won't hear him when the door is shut. After the man leaves, Finney starts screaming, but the room is soundproof. He tries to reach the window, but it's too high. Suddenly, the phone rings, and he picks it up, but hears no one. Later, as he sleeps, he hears a creaking sound from the phone. He jumps when he realizes that the man is watching him. Finney asks for food, but the man says he can't give him any yet. The boy asks why he's there, and the man admits that he wanted to look at him. Soon, Finney wakes up to the phone ringing again. He answers it, and a boy's voice calls him by his name. The boy tells him that he doesn't remember his name because it's the first thing they lose when they die, but they've met before, and Finney's arm was meant. Finney realizes that the boy is Bruce. Bruce instructs him to find a loose tile where he can dig a tunnel through the dirt. Meanwhile, Gwen dreams about Bruce's life before seeing Finney screaming inside a house. She heads out in the middle of the night to look for the house, while Finney finds the loose tile and starts digging. When he gets tired, he flushes the dirt into the toilet and covers the hole with a carpet. The next day, the man brings Finney breakfast but doesn't lock the door when he leaves. Before Finney can go out, the phone rings, and a new voice warns him that it's a trap. Billy's ghost appears next to him and warns that the man is waiting for him upstairs to punish him for trying to escape. In his narrative, he describes how everyone experienced a similar misfortune before the conversation came to an end. Despite this, Finney proceeds with caution as he climbs the stairs, but he feels a presence waiting for him. Consequently, he retreats downstairs and decides to have a meal. Later on, Billy contacts him again, but he insists that he is no longer Billy, which causes the ghost to become restless. Finney observes a soda bottle shaking on its own and notices a crack in the wall where he had previously dislodged a cable. He inquires about the cable's purpose, and the bottle directs him towards the window. Gwen has recurring dreams about Billy, who was taken by the grabber while delivering newspapers. Finney manages to locate the cable that the grabber uses to keep the children captive and attempts to escape by looping a rolled carpet around the bars and climbing up to the window. However, the bars give way and Finney falls to the ground. Later that evening, Gwen confides in her father about her dreams, but Terrence dismisses them as unreal, recounting the story of how dreams drove her mother to suicide. Despite this, Gwen still believes that her dreams can help find Finney, causing Terrence to change his mind and join the search. Meanwhile, the police visit Max's house to inquire about the missing boy, and Max, who is also investigating the abductions, shares his theory on the abductor's location. Detective Miller and Detective Wright are skeptical and question him before leaving, warning Max to clean up the drugs on his coffee table. Unbeknownst to Max, Finney is still trapped in the basement just below him. The grabber visits Finney with food and tries to learn his name, but Finney lies. The grabber drops the food and tosses Finney a newspaper, revealing that he already knows his name. He tells Finney that he could have let him go but leaves the door unlocked before walking out. However, the phone rings before Finney can escape, and no one speaks on the other end. Upstairs, the grabber fights to stay awake while waiting for Finney, but Finney falls asleep after eating the spilled food. After awakening to the sound of dripping, the boy discovers a dead body hanging in the air with blood dripping from it. The body points to the phone, and when the boy picks it up, a new voice warns him that the grabber is no longer asleep, fearing that his brother may uncover his plan. The voice belongs to Griffin, another victim of the grabber, who explains that he was invisible in life but became known after his death. The boy inquires why the grabber hasn't killed him, and Griffin reveals that it's because he hasn't played the grabber's game, thus preventing him from advancing to the next stage. Griffin informs the boy that the grabber has just fallen asleep and is using an old bike lock on the storm door, but he can't recall the combination, which he engraved on the wall. The boy discovers the numbers and, with bravery, ventures outside quietly, finds the grabber asleep in the kitchen, and unlocks the door. However, a barking dog awakens the grabber, who chases after the boy. The grabber threatens to kill him when they are in plain sight of neighbors, so they remain quiet until they leave. The next day, the boy receives a call from Vance, his previous school bully, who warns him that something dreadful will happen that day. Later, Gwen wakes up and worries why she didn't dream the previous night, causing her to reconsider her father's opinion about her dreams. Later, she dreams about Vance getting arrested for assaulting 2 children at a store and overhears his conversation with the boy on the black phone. The police car transporting Vance stops in front of a house that Gwen notes the number of before waking up in her dream. Back in the room again, Vance instructs Finney on how to access the storage room on the other side of the wall from where he is, which is blocked by a freezer. Vance's ghost insists that this is about revenge, causing a bottle to shatter in the room. Finney follows Vance's instructions and breaks through the wall until he finds the panel behind the freezer. However, the door to the storage room is locked from the outside, and Finney becomes exhausted and frustrated. But then, Robin calls and encourages Finney to use what they have given him to escape. Robin advises Finney on how to punch and use the phone as a weapon before ending the call. Finney then creates a trap using the phone's cord and dirt before waiting for his chance to escape. Meanwhile, Gwen discovers the house she has been looking for and contacts detectives Wright and Miller. Max realizes that his brother's house is in the area where the grabber might be. Finney hears movement and sees the receiver moving, but instead of the grabber, Max enters and reveals that he was the grabber all along. The detectives arrive, but the grabber confronts Finney and attacks him with an axe. Finney manages to dodge and leads the grabber to fall into a pit, where he becomes stuck. In the struggle, Finney removes the grabber's mask, revealing his identity. After strangling the grabber with the phone cord, Finney hears the victims taunting him through the receiver. He puts the phone to the grabber's ear, and after hearing the voices, he snaps the man's neck. Finney then uses the meat from the freezer to distract the grabber's dog and makes his way up the stairs. Meanwhile, the police discover a hidden basement door in the house across the street, where the grabber buried his victims. Gwen sees Finney walking out of the house and embraces him just as the police arrive. Terrence apologizes for his behavior and reunites with his children. Later, Wright reports that the grabber owned both houses and used one to keep his victims alive and the other to bury them. A few days later, Finney returns to school, and even his former bullies are in awe of him. He sits next to Donna in science class, feeling more confident than ever before. To watch more videos like this, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help support the channel. Thank you for watching.